guys, it's Courtney. Welcome back to my channel. I am doing this video standing up today. Mostly because I don't have any sort of patience to sit. I've been eating a lot of fruit snacks. So, you get a 90 box at Costco for like $15. What a deal. Okay, I'm here today to do a book haul of books I recently bought. Duh. I really didn't need to explain that, but let's just get into it. So, like I said, these are books that I recently bought. Some of them I've sort of talked about. Some of them are in my TBR, so you've seen them. They were all on my bookshelf of my unread books. We're going to get into it because I have a lot of time on my hands. Again, fruit snacks, and I just feel the need to talk about them. So we're going to go into it. The first book I'm currently reading, and I put it back in the dust cover upside down. This is 5 Feet Apart by Rachel Lippincott. This is such a cute book so far. I'm like 120 pages in, so I'm like halfway through. And it's about, it's about two kids who are sick with CF, and they end up falling in love, obviously. The girl's name is Stella, and the male lead character, I was gonna say main character, his name is Will. So Will's like a bad boy, like he's sick and he doesn't care that he's sick, like he knows he's gonna die and he's like very accepting of it, like he just like wants to die, but then he meets Stella and he wants to live, and that's just adorable. So I am reading this right now for my April TBR. You guys already kind of saw this in that video, but again, we're talking about it. Also, I talked about in that video was Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I have read this. I did just finish rereading it. This is my favorite kind of paperback because it's like floppy. It's great. And honestly, I forgot how much I loved this book. So this is a dystopian based on, like roughly based on Cinderella. So the main character's name is Cinder, Lynn Cinder, and she is a cyborg. So she has a metal arm and foot. I think it's her whole leg actually. And she's a mechanic. Her father, who's like it's her stepfather, they like adopted her, and he ends up passing away from this like terrible disease, this plague that's plaguing the country. So yeah, as I'm reading this, I forgot about the whole like epidemic situation that they were having, and it really hit home because that's exactly what's happening right now. And anyway, so this is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles. I super loved it, and I can't wait to read the second one, which I have as an audiobook, so I'm probably going to start that ASAP. Moving on, the next book is Sarah J. Maas. This is Crescent City. It's House of Earth and Blood. And when I ordered this, I pre-ordered this, and I still haven't read it, but it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. I honestly don't know a lot about this. But that's all. I'm not even going to summarize it because I just read you the inside cover because I literally don't know anything. I just purchased it. I was like, yep, I want it. Okay, thanks. I also recently read and had picked up Red, White, and Royal Blue. Why's that so hard for me to say? By Casey McQuiston. This has been a really hyped up book, so I think you guys kind of know the storyline, but I'll just go over it super briefly. So the first son of the American female president ends up in this accidental feud with the Prince of Wales, and then they end up having to have like a fake friendship, which turns into them dating, and it's super cute. There's some really awesome quotable stuff in here, and it was just really cute. It was light and fluffy, and it talks about a lot of stuff about like being outed, and I thought it was cute. I liked it. I also recently picked up Wayward Sons by Rainbow Rowell because the cover of this is everything to me, my children. And this is a sequel to Carry On. And basically in this book, Baz and Penny and Simon just go on like an American road trip. And it kind of reads like a fan fiction There is super pretty artwork in here, and I liked it. It was all right. I did already read this and talk about it in a wrap-up, so you guys can probably have already heard my thoughts. I liked Carry On better. Okay, moving on. So Cinder also came in a Cinder came in a 4-pack of like starters for series. The other book that was in that was Shadow and Bone from the Grishaverse series. This is by Leigh Bardugo. The cover of this is super pretty. The cover for all of them actually is like very aesthetically pleasing. And this is about Alina and her friend, I think his name is Mal. I can't remember, I read this so long ago. And they are soldiers in like a war. She's a map maker and her life is kind of like humdrum. It's very like, And then all of a sudden she discovers that she has powers, that she's like a summoner, and then she trains with the Grisha, which are like the summoners, the magicians of this land, and gets taken under the wing of the Darkling, who is like the head of the summoners or the Grisha, and he thinks that Alina can basically like save the world, and it's very interesting. I liked it. I want to read the second one, but I don't know if I would purchase the second one. I probably will, because I like the second one the best of the covers, because the coloring. Anyway, moving on. The other books that came in that set were The Kiss of Deception, which is from the Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson. This is, again, a book I have not read yet. It's about a girl named Leah who runs away on her wedding day. She steals some ancient documents because why not? She's also 17, so she's a child getting married. So she runs away to a village on the morning of her wedding, and she tries to fit in with like the village people, and then 2 random strangers pop up that are handsome, obviously. So I'm detecting like a love triangle, and then one of them is the jilted prince that she ran away from, and the other is an assassin sent to kill her. I'm very intrigued by this. Also, the front and back have like a map of the country, of like the land that she's in, which is called Morgan, and I'm pretty hyped about that. Also, again, these are like floppy paperbacks. Chef's kiss. All right, next was the first book from the Summoner series. This is Novice, and this is by Taran Matharu. I haven't read this either. It's about, the main character's name is Fletcher, and he ends up, he's a apprentice, and then he ends up finding out he has a rare abilities to summon demons. So he ends up summoning this demon named Ignatius, and it's him and Ignatius like against the world, basically. There's like crimes, you know, he's wanted for crimes he didn't commit. There's a war. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this book. So I haven't read this series, like I said, but I'm interested to start it. This sounds like more of like a fantasy, and I haven't read a good fantasy in a minute. So I'm looking forward to that. I also picked up the On Honeymooners by Christina Lauren. I still haven't read this, even though it was on my March TBR. This one's really hyped up too, so I know you guys have heard about this already, but this is 2, like a bride and groom are going to get married, and then they get food poisoning, so they send their, I believe it's siblings or best man and maid of honor, I can't remember, who hate each other on their honeymoon in Hawaii, and they end up like falling in love. It's a rom-com, and enemies to lovers is my trope of choice, so I'm pretty excited to read that, not gonna lie. And then lastly, I picked up Things I'm Seeing Without You by Peter Banani. I do not know if I'm saying that right. And this is about a teenage girl whose name I can't remember, Tess. And she dropped out of high school because there was a boy she was in love with whose name is Jonah, and they had only really known each other through text and emails. And then he ends up committing suicide, and she continues to write to him even though he is gone, looking for answers, that kind of thing. And then, yeah, it says, funny, heartbreaking, and wondrous, Things I'm Seeing Without You is a beautiful examination of what it means to love someone, to lose them, and then to love again. So I just thought the cover was really pretty. Honestly, that's why I bought it. I did not read the synopsis before I purchased it. So I was definitely kind of toying with the idea of placing a book outlet order because they've been having sales and stuff because everyone's been home. But I think what I'm going to do is just try to lock in and read the books I have here and keep it under wraps. So thank you guys for hanging out with me. These are all the books I bought recently. Let me know down below in the comments if you've bought anything recently, because I'd like to, my TBR list and my to buy list on Goodreads is like constantly growing. But I'm not mad about that. So like I said, if you really have read or bought anything recently you think I would like, let me know down below. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.